Hey there, and welcome. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on something we use constantly, every single day, but we almost never actually see it. We're talking about the incredible invisible networks that connect our entire world.
So, I've got a question for you, and I want you to really think about it. Just since you woke up this morning, how many different computer networks do you think you've already used? One? Maybe two?
Well, I'm willing to bet the answer is way, way more than you think. So, what we're going to do is go on this little journey together. We're going to start with the network that is centered completely on you, and then we're just going to keep zooming out layer by layer.
Okay, let's dive right in. We're starting at the smallest, most personal scale possible, the network that exists right there in your own personal space. So, first up, we have what's called a personal area network, or a PAN for short. You can just think of this as your own personal tech bubble. It's a network that connects devices all within just a few feet of you.
I mean, what's the point? It's all about getting rid of those annoying wires between your own stuff. You know, when you connect your wireless earbuds to your phone using Bluetooth, that little seamless connection, yep, that's a PAN doing its thing.
All right, time to take our first big step back. We are officially zooming out from your personal bubble and into the rooms, the buildings, and the campuses that we live and work in. And that brings us to the local area network, or LAN. You can see the scale just jumped, right? We went from just you to an entire building, your house, your school, your office. A LAN is what connects all the devices inside that one space. So you've probably heard of a LAN and a WLAN. What's the deal? Honestly, it's super simple. It's all about the wires. A classic LAN often uses those physical Ethernet cables you plug into your computer. But a WLAN, a wireless local area network, that's just your Wi-Fi. Plain and simple.
Okay, but what happens when you need to connect a bunch of buildings that are all part of the same organization, like a big university or a corporate park? Well, that's where the Campus Area Network, or CAN, steps in. It links all those separate LANs together.
Let's just pause for a second and look at how far we've come. We started with the PAN for your personal gear. We scaled up to the LAN for your home, and then we hit the CAN for a whole campus. You see the pattern here, right? We're building outwards, layer by layer. Each one solves a bigger problem of distance. You ready for the next big jump? We are leaving the campus in the dust, and we're starting to think bigger, much, much bigger. We're talking about networks that cover an entire city, and, well, eventually the whole planet. And welcome to the Metropolitan Area Network, or MAN. Now we're talking about something big enough to cover an entire city, connecting all those LANs and CANs from different businesses, government buildings, and universities all across town.
And from the city, we go to, well, the whole world. This is the largest scale there is, the Wide Area Network, or WAN. A WAN doesn't just cross city lines, it crosses oceans and continents. It's really the ultimate network of networks, kind of like the global glue that holds everything else together.
And the biggest, most famous example of a WAN, come on, you're using it this very second. The internet itself is the largest WAN in existence. It is the global web that connects millions of smaller networks and connects all of us right along with them.
Okay, so we've gone from you to your house to a campus, a city, and the whole planet. We've covered the different sizes, but it's not just about size. Within all these layers, there are also these highly specialized networks that are each designed to do a very specific job.
You know, think about this. Have you ever been working from home, maybe at a coffee shop, and you needed to log into your company's network to get to those private files and systems securely? If you've done that, you've used one of these special networks. That secure tunnel you create back to the office, that's a VPN, a virtual private network. Then you've got things like a SAN, a storage area network, which is all about giving huge data centers ridiculously fast access to their information. And for top-tier security, a place like a bank will use an EPN, an enterprise private network, to keep their internal communications completely locked down and private.
And believe it or not, it gets even more specialized. There's something called a POLN, which uses fiber optics to create lightning-fast networks inside modern buildings. And you've almost certainly used a hybrid network. Think about a university or a cafe that has one secure network for staff and a totally separate public Wi-Fi network for guests, like you.
All right, so we've taken this incredible journey from the device in your hand all the way out to the entire globe. So what are the big takeaways here? First, networks are all about layers of scale.
Second, every single type we talked about is basically a special tool for a specific job. And third, you are using so many of these different networks every single day, and most of the time, you don't even realize it.
Look, our entire modern world, everything we do online, is quite literally built on top of these interconnected layers of networks. They're the invisible foundation of, well, everything. Which kind of makes you wonder, right? What's the next layer going to be?